You are looking live outside of David E. Hastings Stadium here in Guelph. A good Saturday night to you all. It's the nightcap of a busy Inter-County Baseball League schedule as the Guelph Royals host the Hamilton Cardinals. The first time the Cardinals visit Hastings Stadium this season. My name is Mark Perry. I'll be taking you through tonight's game solo as Jacob Chappelle doing a great job as the main producer here tonight. As we take a look at the field and just the cards being handed out as these two teams get set for battle. Well, both of these teams are battle tested this week as both teams were in action last night. Let's rewind the tape. First off with the Guelph Royals, well, they ran into a juggernaut, and his name was Victor Payano. 8 innings, giving up just 1 run off of 5 hits, struck out 6 Guelph batters as the London Majors squeaked out a 2-1 victory. And on the other side, it was Jacob Cush, another phenomenal start by him. He did give up the 8 hits, but similar to what we have been seeing from Cush in the last few starts, where he'll give up the hits, but he is going to get out of a jam more often than not. Gave up just the 2 runs, 1 of them earned. Struck out 7, walked 3 in that one. And that game was scoreless going into the 6th inning. That was when both teams would put on a run each. J.D. Williams would get on base with an RBI single, scoring Ashton Patterson, and then Josh Niles would respond for the London Majors, an RBI single for himself. That made it a 1-1 game, and then bottom of the 7th, the London Majors would score 1 more run to make it 2-1, and that's where things stood for the rest of the game. Skylar Janice came in and got a save, one of the better closers in the Inter-County Baseball League this season. For the Hamilton Cardinals, they lost last night, a 4-3 decision at the hands of the Brantford Red Sox. That one in Hamilton was tied at 2 after 2 innings of play. Hamilton would actually take a 3-2 lead into the 8th inning. Brantford would score 2 runs in the top of the 9th, and that was all she wrote in that one there, as Fernando Rodney would end up blowing the save opportunity. He ended up taking the loss, going 1 inning, gave up 2 runs off of 2 hits, struck out 2, walked 1. Owen Boone was just outstanding. 13 strikeouts through 8 innings of work for the Cards. Gave up just 3 hits and 2 runs, both of them earned, only walked 1. Owen Boone with a phenomenal performance. But all for naught as the Cardinals dropped a 4-3 decision and dropped to 9-11 on the year. The Guelph Royals at 9-13 on the season. As we take a look at the standings, as we are up to date right now, Hamilton and Guelph separated by just a game. Guelph in 7th, Hamilton in 6th, and there you see it right there. Again, Guelph at 9-13, Hamilton at 9-11. A win by Guelph here tonight would put them even in the standings. But both of them riding losing skids, and both of them looking to right the ship here tonight. Guelph losing 4 straight. Hamilton losers of 3 straight ball games. It is a busy weekend as there is some scoring to talk about in the Inter-County Baseball League in the other 3 games that are happening. 2 of them have already gone final as we take a look onto the field here very quickly. It's Bark on the Park night here at Hastings Stadium, so a bunch of doggos have made the trek down with their owners. Good crowd here tonight. The Kitchener Panthers, I don't know what it is, but when they play on Saturdays, they tend to win more often than not. By my count, they are now 4-1 on Saturday games this season. They win 11-3 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. A few storylines in that one. We'll get through it as the game goes along if we need some extra things to talk about. Of note in that game, Damon Toppoli coming back for the first time in a couple of years. So again, Kitchener 11-3 winners. Barrie with a 6-5 win over the London Majors at Athletic Culture Stadium. Great job, Steve. Thank you. As there was a first pitch here at Hastings Stadium. Fans with a round of applause. Another game that's ongoing right now. It's top of the third in Welland. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers took a 1-0 lead. It is now 5-2 Welland in that one into the bottom of the fourth inning. So again, these two teams set for their second game of the year. Guelph won 9-3 back on June 1st. Very early on in the season. That was in Hamilton. It was on a Sunday afternoon. It was Brandon Deans getting the win in that game. And Jordan Taylor would actually get the start for the Guelph Royals in that one. We're getting set for the Anthems here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph, a Saturday night. Bit of a cloudy sky under the lights. We're going to send it to break. When we come back, we got some baseball for you here on Royals TV. All right, the Anthems are through. We are back here on Royals TV. We're getting set for baseball. The Guelph Royals wearing their usual home whites, while the Hamilton Cardinals are wearing their, I guess you can call it off-whites, more of a gray color with the red numbers and names on the back. It's red versus blue, if you will, here tonight as the Cardinals come to town, looking to right the ship after their loss to Brantford last night. The umpires for tonight's game, it's going to be Kyle Warner calling the balls and strikes in behind home plate. Scott Costello, the veteran, is the crew chief. He's over at first base. And Mike Guthrow, very familiar around these parts, he is over at third base tonight. And again, it's a bit of a cloudy sky here. 25 degrees. It's a little bit humid, but not overly humid, so we'll see how that plays into tonight's festivities. Had a little bit of trickle-down rainfall in Guelph a few hours ago, but seems like that has gone by the wayside, though there is about a 20 to 30% risk of thunder showers in the area up until around 8 o'clock. So we're getting to around that point where we should be in the clear and we should be able to get this entire game in. It's been a relatively dry day, so that rain is definitely welcome news, especially for those that are in the agriculture sector in this area. And obviously to kind of break this humidity that has been kind of off and on over the last couple of weeks. It'll be Sebastian Rodriguez on the mound for the Guelph Royals this evening. Sebastian Rodriguez, a former Toronto Maple Leaf, sauntering over to the mound right now. He's making his 5th start of the season for these Guelph Royals. Has an even 8 ERA. His last start came in Toronto against the Leafs back on June 27th. Struck out 6 through 4 innings, gave up 8 hits, 4 runs, took the no decision, but the Guelph Royals came out victors in that one by a score of 7-4. He'll take a look at the lineup for the Hamilton Cardinals, as it'll be Tanner Rempel, Nico Kakatos, and Carlos Dominguez that will go 1 through 3 for the Cardinals here tonight. Jaden Brown, Brendan Daly, Matt Hildebrandt batting DH. Russell Young will get the start in behind home plate. Tommy Reyes-Cruz, the second baseman, the former London Major. And Nicholas Volocki will be over at third base. Again, good crowd here tonight. The grandstand seems pretty packed here. The sidelines down the left field and the right field line. A lot of fans tuning in here. A lot of fans coming in here. And a lot of doggos. Again, it is Bark in the Park night. Always a good occasion to bring out the dogs and get them some fresh air here. As we look to get started here, it will be Tanner Rempel. The first baseman will lead things off here for the Hamilton Cardinals. Rempel batting .227 on the season. 4-game hitting streak for the native of Abbotsford, BC. There you see it on the screen. We're going to sample the pitch count graphic here tonight and see how far we can go with it. Always making additions here on Royals TV. Rodriguez deals, and that one's going to hit Tanner Rempel, and the first pitch of the ball game at 7:33 Eastern is going to put a man on base. As that one just gets away from Sebastian Rodriguez. Let's take a look quickly at the defense in behind Rodriguez here tonight. A few guys taking the night off. Ashton Patterson, J.D. Williams, actually it's Ethan Hammond that's out in right field tonight. Carson Burns, Brando LaRue, Blake Simpson, and Garrett Takamatsu is the infield, and Matthew Ward is in behind home plate. That one's set high, deep to right field. Hammond's going to get underneath it. He'll make the catch. So 2 pitches and just the 1 out. As that was Nico Kakatos who put that one into right field. So that'll bring up Carlos Dominguez. Dominguez, the former New York Mets farmhand, played 111 games with St. Lucie in the Single A League in 2022. First pitch he sees, puts it high into center field, going over, but it's actually going to be Hammond coming over from right to make the catch in right center. 3 pitches and now 2 away here in the first. And you can see the aggressiveness in the bats of the Hamilton Cardinals here. They're turning on every first pitch delivered to them. And maybe this is that strategy that they have been working on over the last month or so. If you recall, they were among the worst when it came to runs for in the IBL to start the season. First pitch down the line, that's a foul ball. Still in the bottom of the heap when it comes to runs scored. They have just 94 runs on the board this season. That is last in the Intercounty Baseball League, though Guelph not too far behind as they have just scored 10 more runs. They're in 8th. 14 more runs, 15 more runs. 109 runs scored by the Guelph Royals. Math was never my best subject. The 0-1, that one missing on the outside. As this is Jaden Brown, batting .207 on the season. Runner takes his lead over at first. Chopper in the infield. Simpson gets it over to first and in time, and that'll do it. A 4-3 retires Brown, and after Rempel is hit by a pitch, it's a 1-2-3 inning. And that'll strand a runner over on first base. Just 6 pitches needed for Sebastian Rodriguez to get through the first inning of play. And that's, again, when you look at Sebastian Rodriguez, hits the first batter and then just says, you know what, I'm not too worried about the guy over at first. I need to attack these batters, and he did just that. The batters tried to attack him right back, but a couple of flyouts, and the ground ball generated down over to second base. Simpson to Takamatsu to retire the side. And if you can keep that pitch count in the single digits, could lead to some good things for Sebastian Rodriguez to try to get some length tonight. Well, for the Hamilton Cardinals, they're going to turn to Francis Adames on the hill here tonight. Adames, a former Milwaukee Brewers farmhand, signed as a free agent there in 2019. Spent several seasons in the minors, mostly the Dominican Winter League, the Arizona League. Played some single-A ball in 2019 as well. Also played in the Frontier League a couple of seasons ago in Sussex County. For Adames, his 6th start of the season. Last start came on June 26th in Welland. In fact, he's mostly been a road warrior this year. Of his 5 starts, just 1 of them have come at home. Well, that last start on the 26th gave up just 2 hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts in 5 innings of work. That was part of that 3-2 victory over the Welland Jackfish in Welland. And, well, I think you saw the graphic from the Intercounty Baseball League not too long ago where home field has not exactly been an advantage to pretty much any of the teams in the Intercounty Baseball League. A lot of teams on the road getting the job done, as that one's going to be sent back by Brando LaRue, who's batting in the leadoff spot here tonight. LaRue batting just .156 on the season. The 0-1, that one's sent into left center, and that's going to drop for a base hit. First hit for Brando LaRue since June 27th in Toronto, 5 games ago, and the leadoff man is aboard here for the Guelph Royals. Good approach there, saw the gap. As we'll take a look at the rest of the Guelph Royals lineup here tonight. Brando LaRue, you just saw. Blake Simpson's going to come up here now for the Guelph Royals. Matthew Ward is in behind him. Garrett Takamatsu batting cleanup. Good to see him back in the lineup more regularly. Missed some time a couple of weeks ago. Ethan Hammond, the right fielder. J.D. Williams in at center. Aiden Schell is the DH tonight. Carson Burns is at third base. Ashton Patterson is out in left field. Squaring up to bunt there was Simpson, but it goes off the top of the bat and goes in behind. So Schell is the DH. He started the game as a pitcher a few games back against the Barry Bay Cats. Junior call-up from the Mississauga Tigers. Here comes the 0-1 to Simpson. Dom is taking his time. The runner's going to go. Throw over to second base, and it is offline, and getting in safely is LaRue. That throw going to the left side of the bag, trying to go over was Brown, but he was unable to get the glove cleanly down to grab the baseball and pull it over to the bag, and LaRue gets in. So a stolen bag already here for the Guelph Royals. They're now 26 for 34 on the season. Adames is going to take his time with a 1-1 count. And that'll go in for a strike. Simpson batting 138 on the season. Although he is getting rewarded for his consistent play recently. Has a hit in each of his last 3 games. Batting just 4 for 29 on the season, but 3 of those 4 hits coming in the last 3 games. Simpson starting to heat up here for the Royals, putting him into a good position here in the 2-hole here tonight. Adames gets set. The deal upstairs and away. 2-2. Simpson spending the spring with the Missouri Tigers. Adames deals downstairs. It gets away from Russell Young only momentarily. Now, it was just his junior season. He only played 3 games for the Tigers, did Simpson, but hit .333. 4 hits and a home run. Was transferred over from the Connor State Cowboys. That's the NJCAA Division I team. Full count here on Simpson. Swing and a miss. Got a slight piece of it, but it goes right into the glove, and that'll be a swinging strikeout for Adames. And there's one away here in the bottom of the first. And that'll set up Matthew Ward. And Ward, well, you go to the top of the heap when it comes to the batting average this year, hitting .328 on the year. Hits in 4 of his last 5 outings. Went 3 for 3 in Barrie in that 12-2 defeat just a couple of days ago. Adames taking his time, and time's going to be called here. Ward will get reset. Fans really getting on Adames here to deliver the baseball. The runner's going to go. Throw over to third, and he's safe. Good jump there from Brandon LaRue to get on over to third base. And you can tell immediately, I think that's the reason why Adames was holding off, was getting some extra signs there from Young, knowing that he was going to run on the pitch. Just the way he was taking that lead, Brandon LaRue was. And now he's just 90 feet away. 2-0 count here to Ward, and they'll look to get reset here. The delivery, and that's across for a strike, just below belt level. Fans getting really restless with the time in between the count. The 2-1 into the dirt. Young blocks it. So it's a 3-1 count here on Ward. The delivery. And that'll go across for a strike, just picking the bottom corner. We'll try it here once again with a 3-2 count. LaRue over on third. And that one's going to miss in. And Ward will take a base. Runners on the corners here with just the one away. That's some good patience by Ward at the plate. Had to be patient. As Adames was being very cerebral in his delivery. So here comes Garrett Takamatsu. That misses in for ball one. Tak hitting .323 on the season. As mentioned, he missed a few games. Came back on Thursday. He's 0 for 8 since returning to the lineup. 0-1-0. And that one clips the inside edge. 0 for 4, both against Barrie and London. Before that, before he had that time off, had a 4-game hitting streak, including going 4 for 6, that 8 RBI game, 2 home runs against the Panthers. That one's going to miss downstairs. Ward was thinking about going to second base, but he thinks otherwise and goes right on back. So they're going to try to keep an extra eye on Ward here. Ward is 1 for 2 on stolen bags this year. That one in for a strike. Really working the inside of the zone here is Adames. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Big strikeout there for Adames, and there's 2 away here in the first. And that'll bring up Ethan Hammond. Let's take a look quickly at the defense in behind Adames. Daly, Dominguez, and Kakados is up from left to right. Veloci, Brown, Reyes, Cruz, and Rempel is in the infield. And Russell Young is catching Adames here tonight. Swing and a miss for strike one. Hammond batting .212 on the season. Though hits in 2 of his last 3 outings. The runner's going to go. Throw. No, and they're not going to throw to second base. That is a strike. But advancing into scoring position is Matthew Ward. Now, most notably, that average as a team with runners in scoring position and 2 away just has not been the friend of the Guelph Royals. Just 186 they're hitting with runners in scoring position and 2 away, as that one sent violently into the screen and out of play. 97 at-bats overall. They'd love to try to up that average here. Hammond of note has been up for 6 at-bats in this situation. That one is going to get through the hole. 1 run comes in to score. He's circling around his ward. 2-0 Guelph on an RBI single from Ethan Hammond. Good location there from Ethan. Just gets by the outstretched arm of Tommy Reyes-Cruz. And the Royals are on the board first. And you see that aggressiveness on the base path paying off there, because if that runner Ward is still on first base, he's probably just going first to third there. But that one's going to get across for a strike. That aggressiveness on the base path, that is 3 stolen bags already for the Guelph Royals. And Ethan Hammond's able to cash them in. There he goes meantime, and he'll have to go back as J.D. Williams will foul the baseball back. J.D. batting .250 with runners in scoring position and 2 away, although he's not really facing that situation here. Batting .370 with runners on base in general. The 0-2 missing inside. JD gets out of the way. On the season, JD is batting .278. Hits in 3 straight and 4 of his last 5. Had the lone RBI for the Royals last night. And he puts that one right to the glove of Holochi. Oh, he snagged that one out of the air. He got some hang time on that one. Makes the catch, and that will retire the side, but not before the Royals add 2 onto the ledger. They lead it 2-0 as we go to break. Stay with us. This is Royals TV.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Hard line drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com. Because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.
Welcome back to Royals TV. Getting set for the second inning of play. Sebastian Rodriguez just needing 6 pitches to get through the first inning. It'll be Brendan Daly, Matt Hildebrandt, and Russell Young due up for the Hamilton Cardinals, who find themselves in a 2-0 hole. Some lively fans here. A lot of fans making the trip up Highway 6. Swing and a miss by Daly for strike 1. From Highway 6 South, across the 401 to Highway 6 North. It's a quick drive, a good drive from the hammer, as that one's going to be hammered into left field. Daly gets on with a base hit. You like that approach from Brendan Daly if you're a Hamilton Cardinals fan. And the lead runner is on board for the second straight inning for the Cardinals. As Daly ups his average, was hitting just .83. Was 1 for 12 coming into tonight through 12 games. Here comes Matt Hildebrandt batting 182. 2 for 11 in 7 games this season. Missing outside there. Hildebrandt, the former Welland Jackfish, also played for the Fort McMurray Giants in the Western Canadian League back before the pandemic. Howen just missing at the knees. Just under the zone, was looking for that bottom corner to the outside. Was a second-team All-Star for both seasons he spent in Welland. Chopper right through the hole, tags the bag, over to first and in time. A fortuitous knock there, right over to the second baseman as they were trying the hit-and-run play. But it goes right on over to LaRue, who gets to Simpson as tailor-made and clinical as a double play can be. And there's 2 away just like that. And that'll bring up Russell Young, another former Welland Jackfish. That'll go across for a strike. Was a member of that organization, not for a long time, but got released as there was a bit of a log jam when it came to the amount of catchers that Welland had on the roster. Right over to second base, Simpson over to first, and another quick inning for Sebastian Rodriguez. And this time here, Russell Young just needing 13 pitches now to get through the first 2 innings of play. He gives up the single to Daly. It was a hard hit single, but if you're the Hamilton Cardinals, you got to start finding ways to, cash those ones and even get them into scoring position. But it's not for a lack of trying. They tried that hit and run play. Hildebrandt going down the line, but it's just one of those things, right? Baseball gods just were not in favor of the Cardinals on that occasion, as it went right on over to LaRue, who was a step away from second base to tag the bag. So we head to the bottom of the second here as the Guelph Royals look to add to their 2-0 lead. They will send the bottom of the order up to the plate. It'll be Aiden Schell, Carson Burns, and Ashton Patterson. And by the way, Alan, no, I did not get my bucket hat. I'm going to say something tomorrow when I go into Kitchener. They will finish off a home-and-home with the Toronto Maple Leafs. 2 rosters that, well, they didn't really have a lot of personnel available. And from what I'm told, that is the reason why Damon Topley played for the Toronto Maple Leafs earlier on today. A veteran of many years. You go back to the 90s when he was playing in the Intercounty Baseball League. That's how long he has been around. Starting in 1995 when he was playing for the Stratford Hillers. Former manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Among the league's best when it comes to hits, RBIs. He's at 498 runs driven in. Swing and a miss there from Schell for strike 1. So might see him tomorrow, but from what I'm told, it doesn't look like it's a, hey, I'm sticking around for the season. The 0-1, that misses upstairs, 1-1. Schell, the youngster. Call up from the Mississauga Tigers. That one missing outside. Schell committed to the Missouri State Bears NCAA Division I in 2026. Played for the Canadian national team for a couple of years. That one missing upstairs, 3-2. A good left-handed hitter. Can play over at third base as well as being a pitcher, so good dual threat to have in the lineup. The 3-2, swing and a miss, he got him. Third strikeout of the ball game for Adames, and there's one away here in the second. And all three strikeouts have been of the swinging strikeout variety. So here comes the former Barrie Baycat, Carson Burns. Hitting .233 on the season. Chopper down the line, that's a foul ball, just barely though. Hitting 10 for 43 on the season. Couple of RBI. Would like to get that strikeout to walk ratio a little bit more in his favor. 9 strikeouts to 5 walks on the year. But he's not really known as a guy that's going to hit for, 320, 350 average. No more for his defense. Has a veteran presence. Puts that one down the line again, foul. His career high for a season average came in 2021 when he hit .301 with the Baycats. The 1-2. Chopper in the infield. This one's going to stay fair. Over to first goes Adames, and Burns will be retired on the 1-3 putouts. Or rather, that's the 3-1 putout if you're scoring at home. And that'll send up Ashton Patterson. Who's really looking to bump that average up, batting just .130 on the season. Went 1 for 3 with a run against London. So he was the lone run that actually came in to score for the Guelph Royals last night. Puts that one high. A little bit too much air underneath it, and getting over to make the catch is Carlos Dominguez, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. So it remains a 2-0 ball game. The Guelph Royals leading the Hamilton Cardinals here on Royals TV. We'll be back after this.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Hard line drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Welcome back to Royals TV. It'll be Tommy Reyes Cruz, Nicholas Veloci, and Tanner Rempel due up here for the Hamilton Cardinals as we go into the top of the third inning. Glad you can join us here on this beautiful Saturday night here at Hastings Stadium. You saw there the All-Star Showdown coming up in Hamilton, coming up on the 20th of July. As that one's sent into left center, getting over is Patterson, and he makes the grab, and there's one away. So as I was saying, the All-Star Showdown happening in Hamilton. You have the Home Run Derby there at Bernie Arbor Stadium. If you want to get your votes in, you don't have much time left. Voting ends at 11:59 p.m. on Monday night. So again, you have until Monday night at 11:59 to get your votes in for who you want to represent at the IBL All-Star Showdown in Hamilton. Veloci will take strike one. The Newmarket native, a standout in the OUA, has played the last few seasons at McMaster University. The 1-1, that'll go across for a strike. Looked like it was going to go in there for a strike anyway, but Ward, just for emphasis, kind of pulled the glove up just to make sure it was in that strike zone. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Did he go around? No, he did not. The appeal over to first. Scott Costello says, nope, he's clean. And Veloci will stay in the batter's box here with a 2-2 count. Just 22 years of age. He'll be 23 coming up on the 20th. Wouldn't that be a nice birthday present to get to play in the All-Star game? So Veloci will step in here yet again. 2-2 count. The delivery. That one's put over the head and into left center as Veloci will get on with a base hit. And despite the pitch count here for Sebastian Rodriguez, just 19, now up to 20 on the day. Now giving up 2 hits, but nobody's been able to get past first base. Now Tanner Rempel will get his first chance to swing the bat. He was hit by a pitch, the first pitch of the ball game. Time's called momentarily here. Like we're going to get reset. Rodriguez. Swing and a miss for strike one on Rempel. Rempel, as mentioned, hitting .227 on the season. Went 1 for 4 against Brantford. The 0-1, swing and a miss again for strike 2. And you can see from Rodriguez, he is a contact hitter. Not a strikeout on his ledger yet. Really comfortable trying to generate some of those hits and allowing the defense to do their job. The 0-2 down the line, right on over to Burns. Throw over to first and in time. They won't go for the lead runner to try to get the double play, as it looked like Veloci was already halfway over to second, so no chance for them. And first time tonight, the Hamilton Cardinals have a runner in scoring position. as Kakatos will step in here. He flew out to right field his last time up. First pitch he sees, turns on it right over to right field, over to make the grab. The basket catch by Ethan Hammond will retire the side. As we'll head to the home half of the third, the Hamilton Cardinals got a runner into scoring position, but they weren't able to do anything with it. And it remains a 2-0 scoreline, the Guelph Royals leading. Of course, we want to take this time to thank all of y'all for tuning in here tonight. Fill in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from here tonight. And while you're at it, maybe add some questions in there. Love to hear the banter, hear the questions. And if I can't get to it here, maybe I'll get to it on the IBL Inside Pitch, the podcast, coming out every Tuesday. Question that we might have in the next couple of weeks is, what pieces are missing for each of the 9 teams in the Intercounty Baseball League heading into the transaction deadline? What is needed? A couple of additions coming for the Guelph Royals in the next couple of weeks, with Claudio Custodio coming into the fold. Really curious how they work Matthew Ward in and out of the lineup with Franklin Torres on the horizon. Now, do you have that situation where, Ward is hitting excellently, and do you have him as the DH? You can turn to Franklin Torres as a DH if his hitting is being consistent. It's not a bad problem to have if you're the Guelph Royals trying to figure out the situations here for the catching spot for the Guelph Royals, as Adamas will face the top of the order here in the home half of the third. LaRue, Simpson, and Ward. First pitch in for strike one. LaRue singled and scored, got a pair of stolen bases as well in the first inning. That went into the dirt. The fourth-year player for the Guelph Royals here will take a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes here against the shortstop. Adamas steals. That one right on over to Brown. Fields it cleanly. Over to first. And he comes off the bag but applies the tag anyway. Does Tanner Rempel. Good awareness there as the throw from Brown took Rempel off the bag. But into the glove, and just quickly knowing the situation, applies the tag anyway. And LaRue is out. And to Blake Simpson we go. The second-year player out of Toronto. Swing and a miss. That was a big cut there from Simpson for strike one. And we talked about his time with Missouri and Connors State. Also played last season, a part of it at least, in the MLB Draft League. Chopper there, right to Brown, gets it on the hop, over to first and in time. Rempel is able to stay on the bag this time, and there's 2 away here in the third. As Jaden Brown's been rather busy out there at shortstop. So here comes Matthew Ward with 2 away. That'll go in for ball 1. Try to get some movement on the baseball, did Adamas. Straight fastball in for strike number 1. As he got it in there to the bottom corner. One missing outside. Ward walked and scored back in the first. That 2-run single from Ethan Hammond. Ward also stole second base. The 2-1, missing downstairs. This is a big pitch upcoming here. The delivery. That one goes in for a strike. Put a lot of heat on that one, right just below belt level. And the count is full here on Ward. That one's put into right field. Playable, though, for Kakados. And that is the third out. And that will do it. To the fourth we go here at Hastings Stadium. 2-0 Guelph is the score here on Royals TV. As we're just going to here. And allow the kids to run the bases. Great tradition here at Hastings Stadium. Welcome back to Royals TV. On to the fourth we go here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. And it'll be Carlos Dominguez, Jaden Brown, and Brendan Daly due up here for the Hamilton Cardinals, who have a couple of hits on Sebastian Rodriguez, but Rodriguez a trio of very quick innings overall. And a 2-0 scoreline for the home side. Right in for a strike. Dominguez 0 for 1. Flew out to the right fielder, Hammond, his last time up. That'll go in for a strike as Rodriguez really challenging him. The 25-year-old Dominguez turns 26 in October. The 0-2. That one missing downstairs. Tried to look for the chase from Dominguez, but Dominguez wasn't swinging. That's put high, deep to left field. It's carrying all the way back, and just in front of the warning track is Ashton Patterson. A whole lot of power behind that one from Carlos Dominguez, but here at Hastings Stadium, that one's going to stay in the ballpark. A few other parks in the Intercounty Baseball League, that one's a home run every day of the week. But this will bring up Jaden Brown. Had a ground out. Swing and a miss from Brown. Foul tip into the glove for strike one. The 40th round draft pick of the Washington Nationals back in 2019. Missing downstairs. Of course, got victimized by how the pandemic messed up a lot of things in the minor leagues. Decided to go to school instead. There's a swing and a miss. And he was going to high school at the time he was drafted. Played for the Canadian Junior National Program, Ontario Blue Jays. Ended up going to Iowa Western Community College in 21. University of Texas a year later. That one missing upstairs and in. Look to get reset here. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Brown. That one right in there for strike 3. First strikeout of the ball game for Sebastian Rodriguez. And there's 2 away here in the 4th. And that was a freezing strikeout, if you will. Cold from Sebastian Rodriguez as he froze Jaden Brown on that occasion. And that'll bring up Brendan Daly. 1 for 1 here tonight. Takes a strike on the outside edge. Second year in the league. Played for Hamilton last year as well. That one looked like he was going to catch the outside edge, but Kyle Warner says that one missed by a mere inch. So, in fact, this is the second full season for Daly. Made 2 appearances as a call-up 2 years ago for the Cards. The 1-1 holds off on the swing, but that one paints the outside edge for a strike. Looking for the payoff here. Holds off on the swing. Similar location. Ward setting up more to the outside there. And just missed. Rodriguez will look to get set on Daly, the Milton native. Here comes the 2-2. right in for strike 3. He froze him up. A pair of Ks for Sebastian Rodriguez, and he is through 4. Some quality baseball from the starter for the Guelph Royals, who lead it by a score of 2-0 as we head to the home half of the 4th. And right there, you can see it from Rodriguez. He's got that strikeout ability as well as he gets a pair of Ks in the 4th inning, along with a fly out to left field. A hard hit fly ball by Carlos Dominguez. And you think about that pitch count, 38 pitches through 4 innings for Sebastian Rodriguez. No, he's pitching it's under 10 pitches an inning so far from the starter for the Guelph Royals here tonight. That might get him maybe 7 innings, 8 innings. And the Royals don't really have to think about conserving per se when it comes to arms. They don't actually play again until Tuesday when the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers come to town. So they can afford to go through maybe another arm or two to have some low leverage, maybe an inning, half an inning if you will. Maybe even get a guy in there in the 9th to just get an appearance. But again, maybe speaking too soon here. It's only the 4th inning, still a lot of baseball to be played, but some good options that Dino Ramel and the coaching staff here have to work with. And I'm sure they will play that balance as this game goes along. Here comes Garrett Takamatsu for the Guelph Royals. Struck out his last time up, takes a strike there from Adames. Adames 50 pitches in, 32 of them have gone for strikes coming into this inning. The 0-1, hard hit ball, that one hops on Veloci, and it's a base hit there for Takamatsu. So no matter how you score it, that is a single officially, as Garrett is officially 1 for 2 here tonight, and Ethan Hammond is 1 for 1, steps into the batter's box. Hammond singled in the first, drove in the only 2 runs of the game. Tak takes the lead. That one missing inside. Two balls, no strikes. Hammond puts that one into foul territory, right down the line, the left field side. Former second-team IBL All-Star back in 2022. Was the runner-up for IBL Rookie of the Year that season. Had a heck of a year, batting .345, including 3 home runs, 48 hits. That's going to go up and painting the outside for a strike. So when you look at that .212 average coming into tonight, usually you see him batting around the 300 and above. That one right on off the glove of Adames. Throw over to second base. They'll get the lead runner. The fans can't believe it. And now here comes Dino Ramel to have a conversation. And Takamatsu officially out on the play over to second as Adames couldn't handle the ball. Knew that he wasn't able to get Hammond over at first, so decided to go for the lead runner anyway. And there was a bit of an argument there for maybe about 10 seconds, wondering whether or not the defender came off the bag when he got the glove on it. But nonetheless, runner on first with one away, and here comes J.D. Williams. Bump down to the number 6 spot here on the rotation. That one, good grab there from Valachi. Over to second, and he's unable to make the play. Reyes Cruz unable to corral the baseball over at second base, and getting in safely is Ethan Hammond. J.D. Williams gets aboard. As Valachi was able to corral the baseball very cleanly over at third, tried to turn the double play, but Reyes Cruz just couldn't make the play. First pitch there seen by Shell as a strike. As he swings through it, the pitch a little bit more toward the inside. The 0-1, missing outside, 1-1. So JD will be credited with a single. So make him 1 for 2 on the ball game. Shell struck out swinging back in the second. Takes a look over at second. A long look there from Adames. The 1-1, that one just missing. Didn't miss by much, though. It went up and out. And Francis Adames will look to get reset here. Again, a 2-0 lead for the Royals. A 2-run single from Ethan Hammond in the first. The difference in this game. The runner's going to go, throw over to third, and he is out! And Dino Ramel over at third cannot believe it. A good jump there from Ethan Hammond. Valachi applies the tag. And the fans are getting in on Mike Guthrow, who made the call from just the other side of second base. And Ethan Hammond is caught stealing third base. So there's 2 away here in the fourth. That one missing downstairs, and the runner will go from first to second base, does J.D. Williams.
Your third baseman, number 7, Carson Burns.
So here comes Carson Burns. And now a conversation happening. Like Luis Bernardo is going to come out of the dugout to talk with Adames. Reyes Cruz will also come into this convo, as will Russell Young, as they try to figure out how to attack Carson Burns here with 2 men aboard. Fans have been very lively here at Hastings Stadium tonight. And we are into the dog days of summer, if you will. Both teams, again, riding those losing skids, just trying to right the ship here tonight. So maybe some frustration might show as this game goes along. That one's down the line, foul. And we talked about the Guelph Royals not being in action until Tuesday. Hamilton hosting London tomorrow afternoon. That'll be live at Bernie Arbor Stadium. Adamas gets set. Here comes the 0-1. That one missing downstairs. London at 14-9 on the season. They're just 2 games back of Welland for first place in the IBL. The delivery, that one's put high, deep into center, into right center, and that's going to drop. 1 run's going to come in to score. Runners will stay on the corners, throw into third base. He's safe, and it's 3-0 Guelph. An RBI single from Carson Burns drives in J.D. Williams, and Aiden Shell goes from first to third. As Adamas finding himself into a bit of trouble here in the home half of the 4th. That one upstairs. Pitch count getting up there, close to 70 now for the Hamilton starter. Not a game that's out of reach by any means. That one's going to be flared high in the infield. Valachi getting underneath it, right down the line, and he will make the grab. But an RBI single from Carson Burns makes it 3-0 Guelph as we head to the 5th here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph on a beautiful Saturday night. You are watching Royals TV.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Hard-line drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Welcome back to Royals TV as we head to the top half of the 5th. My apologies, folks. Didn't take into account another rain-out makeup game that was not actually added officially to the schedule here. It will be a Guelph Royals game in Barrie tomorrow night. So that does change quite a few things when it comes to how you work that rotation. Especially when you consider that it'll be the end of 4 games in 4 days, and then you have to go and play Chatham-Kent with just a day off after that. This is Matt Hildebrandt. Grounded into a 6-3 double play his last time up. That one's fouled back just off the end of the bat. Rodriguez, that pitch count, not really worried about it at this point in time. He's had a few quick innings here so far tonight. Rodriguez taking his time. The 0-2. Right into the dirt. Good block there from Ward. Keeps it in front of him. So again, it'll be Barrie and Guelph. Rematch of the IBL Finals. Tomorrow night in Barrie. And then it'll be Tuesday night here at Hastings Stadium with the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers in town. Did it go around? No, he did not. 2-2 the count here on Hildebrandt. Of course, Chatham-Kent getting themselves quite the addition in the last few games. Seth Strong, the reigning IBL MVP. He's 1 for 4 tonight in Welland. By the way, Welland up 9-4 in the bottom of the 8th. That one sent right on over. On the hop to LaRue, over to first in time to get the out on Hildebrandt.
The catcher, number 34, Russell Young.
Of course, Strong hit a grand slam home run, his first at bat of the season. That was in Kitchener on Thursday night. Had 7 RBI in that game. Just on 2 swings of the bat. Had a grand slam and a 3-run shot. Here's Russell Young, who is 0 for 1. Puts that one high. Down the right field side. Takamatsu, a basket catch, 2 away. On the track in front of the fans, and Takamatsu called off Blake Simpson, who also came in to back him up.
The second baseman, number 25, Tommy Reyes.
So 2 away here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Tommy Reyes-Cruz. The native of Montreal, Quebec, played his last 2 seasons in London for the majors. Sherbrooke Expos alumnus, studied sports management at Faulkner University. That one missing downstairs. Played 3 years of collegiate ball at Faulkner. The 1-0. Chopper, grab there. Throw over to first in time, and it'll be a 3-1 putout. Another 1-2-3 inning for Sebastian Rodriguez and the Guelph Royals. Rodriguez has now retired 8 straight batters as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, and it is a 3-0 ball game. The Guelph Royals continuing to have the advantage here on a Saturday night at Hastings Stadium. And that there just needed 8 pitches to get through the 5th inning of play. So stay locked onto the channel at the end of this inning. It is Bark in the Park night. We're going to have the Doggos run the bases. We'll see how well that goes. Get all the good dogs out there and get them to run the bases like the players here tonight. As Phrasis Adamas, 69 pitches in, 43 of them for strikes, got roughed up in that 4th inning. 1 run off of 3 hits. A trio of singles given up. And it'll be the top of the order due up here. Brandel LaRue, Blake Simpson, and Matthew Ward. LaRue 1 for 2. That one will hit LaRue, and he will take the base. That one gets away from Adamas.
Your second baseman, number 3, Blake Simpson.
And here comes Blake Simpson. You know, he would like to make his mark in this ball game. 0 for 2 on the Knights. Adamas deals. Good drop there by Simpson, and Adamas can't make the play. Drops the bunt down the first base line. Charging through is Blake Simpson, and he gets on base. We'll have to see if it's going to be counted as a single, and yes, indeed, it will be. So Adamas off the hook. When it comes to that. And there's runners on first and second with nobody away for Ward. That one missing inside. Trying to push Ward off the plate there. Ward 0 for 1. Flew out to right field his last time up. Walked and scored in the first. That one missing inside. Really trying to push Ward away from the plate here. Not as aggressive on the base paths are the Guelph Royals here. Swing and a miss for strike one. Not thinking about a steal over at second base, not even a double steal. I don't know if it was a, hey, we learned our lesson. On trying to steal on Russell Young, but here we are. There they go, though. Drop down the line. That's a fair ball, and it's going to roll just foul. Simpson and LaRue were already up. And a good drop bunt down there from Ward. And it's good patience there from Adamas, just recognizing that baseball rolling. And it just rolls foul. And Ward will have to try again. Does he continue to try to think about the bunt attempt? That's LaRue on second, Simpson on first, Adamas getting set. Sent high into right field. It's carrying. Kakatos gets underneath it. He'll make the grab, and the runners will, one of them will advance. As LaRue goes from second to third. Blake Simpson will stay on first. And there's runners on the corners here for Garrett Takamatsu.
First baseman, number 4, Garrett Takamatsu.
Only one other game in the intercounty right now. It is top of the ninth in Welland. The Welland Jackfish leading Chatham-Kent 9-4. So that game just about over here. Welland wearing their special Stompers uniforms today. The runner thought about going. Garrett gets it into right center. 4-0 Guelph. As LaRue comes in to score on the RBI single from Tack. Seems like the Royals have found their offensive touch here. What more can they do here in this inning? They have added a run onto the board here. And this is Ethan Hammond, who's got 2 ribeyes in this game. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th, was caught stealing 3rd in the last inning. The 1-0, that one paints the outside edge for a strike. Adames taking his time here yet again. And the fans are getting on him. The 1-1. That one sent high, but it's going to go into foul territory. Getting over, unable to make the basket catch is Tanner Rempel as he slides on the track. Looks like he's all right. Try to track that down, but also trying to keep in bounds. Again, down that line. I know you don't see it on the screen here, but there is that gravel track that circles around the ballpark and connects to the warning track out in the outfield. But anything on the other side of the track where the fans are sitting, there's no fence there, but it is considered out of bounds. So you have to keep at least 1 foot on the track when you're making that catch, trying to reach over. Think about it as the invisible fence, if you will. That one missing outside. So it's kind of a balancing act that you have to make there, recognizing where you are and knowing where your feet are when you're trying to make catches down the line. 2-2 count here on Hammond. Foul tip into the glove, and that is strike 3. And another strikeout added to the ledger for Francis Adames.
Center fielder, number 8, J.D. Williams.
And that's a big strikeout for Adames. 2 away now here in the 5th. This will bring up J.D. Williams. One for 2. Came around to score in the 4th. Good breaking ball there from Adames. Got the break at the end as it goes in for a strike. Pitch count getting up there for Adames. The 0-1 holds off on the pitch. Good block there from Young. And if anything, if you're Adames, just try to get out of this inning. Don't even worry about the guys on the base path. Try to pitch to contact and try to keep a ground ball going. Swing and a miss for strike 2. JD does lead the team with 24 strikeouts at the plate. So if you're trying to look for a strikeout victim, he's probably the one you're looking at. Here comes the 1-2. Foul ball as JD fouls that one off of his foot. course, JD, when you think about him amongst the league leaders for batters strikeouts, Yosuke Fuji of Kitchener leading the league with 29 strikeouts. The 1-2. Hop over to Rempel, and he'll just jaunt on over to first base, tags the bag, and that'll do it. We're through 5 here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. It's 4-0 Royals over the Hamilton Cardinals. Stay with us. You're watching Royals TV.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com, because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.
Welcome back to Royals TV, getting set for the 6th inning here at Hastings Stadium. The Guelph Royals 4, the Hamilton Cardinals no score. This has been a very conservative effort by Sebastian Rodriguez. Got a pair of strikeouts. He's retired 8 straight, and just 46 pitches on the ledger. We can tell you that it is still Sebastian Rodriguez. There's the pitch outside. 1-0 count here on Valachi. And that'll go in for a strike. Yeah, again, there's no way Nelson Ricardo was going in there, let me tell you. With the way Sebastian Rodriguez has been pitching in this ball game, he might go the length. Because, again, you're playing the Barrie Baycats tomorrow. So keep the arms that you have available. You're at the tail end of a 4-4 tomorrow. If you can get any kind of length out of your starters whatsoever, you let them go, especially with the way Rodriguez has been pitching in this game here tonight. He's only given up 2 hits. He's been the story of this game for the Guelph Royals. That's going to go in for strike 3 as he freezes Valachi. Just the 3rd K on the ball game for Rodriguez. He's generated quite a bit of contact, but his defense has really come to play here. Got a double play back in the 2nd. A fly out down the first base side. A plethora of flyouts into the outfield. Some hard hit balls. Hamilton doing a good job with that bat to ball contact. But you look at that defense out in the outfield. Patterson, Williams, and Hammond. All 3 of them very aware and can track down the ball quite well as this one's sent into center field. Williams gets underneath it. He'll make the catch. Didn't really have to move all that much, but there's another fly out. And there's 2 away here in the 6th.
Right fielder, number 10, Nico Cacados.
As Cacados will come up here with 2 away. He is 0 for 2. He has sent 2 baseballs into right field, and Hammond's been underneath it every single time. That one's inside. Perhaps trying to get a chase. And just trying to push Cacados off the plate there. Nonetheless, a 1-0 counts. That one just missing outside. I can tell you that the game is now final in Welland. The Jackfish with a 9-4 victory over the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. So push the Jackfish up to 16-6 on the season. The 2-0 is down the line, foul. And with the loss, the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers now even with the London Majors for 2nd in the IBL, both of them sporting 14-9 records. Barrie a half game back of that at 13-9. So with that final in Welland, we are the last game on the schedule still playing here tonight. Two balls, 1 strike here on Cacados. And that'll miss for ball 3. And got a busy day tomorrow. 3-1, that one's in for a strike. Pair of 2 o'clock games. Welland in Brantford at Arnold Anderson Stadium at 2 o'clock. At 2:05, Hamilton will have to turn around after this game here tonight and host the London Majors. Toronto will be in Kitchener for the second half of that home and home. And, of course, the Guelph Royals will be in Barrie. That one's lined down the right field line and well foul. It'll bounce out of play. That game will be at 7:05 at the Athletic Culture Stadium. So again, a jam-packed weekend of IBL baseball. The 3-2 missing downstairs, and One of the lengthier at-bats of the ball game for the Hamilton Cardinals results in a walk to Nico Kakados. First base runner since the third inning for the Hamilton Cardinals. What can they do with it? Carlos Dominguez 0 for 2. That one missing downstairs. Dominguez, a pair of flyouts. It was a loud flyout to left field in the fourth inning. Had a lot of distance behind it, but Ashton Patterson was able to track down the baseball. The 1-0 holds off as it misses downstairs. Good patience there from the center fielder. And former New York Mets farmhand. Rodriguez will get set. No movement in the bullpen. 2-0 right at the knees for a strike. I believe I saw a bit of movement in the Cardinals' pen not too long ago. Seems like Adames, his time is numbered in this game here, as that one's laced over to Brando LaRue, and that'll do it. So the walk issued to Kakados is erased. And we are heading to the bottom of the sixth here at Hastings Stadium, with the Guelph Royals continuing to lead 4-0. So again, the finals around the Intercounty Baseball League today. The Kitchener Panthers winning 11-3 over the Toronto Maple Leafs in that one. Home runs from Runta Osawa and Trent Lawson for Kitchener. Ryan DeSantos hit a late home run in that game, but it was all for naught on that occasion as Kitchener wins in Christie Pitts. The Barrie Baycats with a 6-5 win over the London Majors in 10 innings, no less, as Barrie gets the walk-off. And Connor Corey is going to come into the ball game here for the Hamilton Cardinals. And, of course, we had mentioned that Welland winners 9-4 over the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. So Francis Adames' day is done. And it's Connor Corey. That will come in here for the Hamilton Cardinals. Corey into his 8th appearance of the season. Last appearance went 2 innings in a 7-2 defeat against Barrie at home. Gave up 3 hits and 1 run. Faced 8 batters in that one. So Aiden Shell will come in. That one missing outside. 1-0. Shell 0 for 1 with a walk. That one missing inside yet again. Shell walked in the 4th and was able to get all the way over to third base. Guelph has scored 1 run in each of the last 2 innings. Scored a pair of runs all the way back in the first inning. That's the only scoring we have on the ledger here tonight. That one missing outside. Seems like the ball flowers have traveled from London to here tonight as we're getting ball four chants here at Hastings Stadium. Corey deals. That one's fouled back. Corey out from Manitoba. Played for the Cards last season. There's strike three as Aiden Schell thought he was going for a walk, but he's going to have to walk back to the dugout. So he's frozen. And to Carson Burns we go. So the final line on Francis Adamas, 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, all of them earned on 7 hits. Struck out 4, walked 2, faced 24 batters on the night. Carson Burns swung and missed for strike 1, and he'll take for ball 1. Burns 1 for 2. Hit an RBI single his last time up. That one missing downstairs. Little bit of movement now in the Guelph Royals bullpen. That one is going to clip the outside edge for a strike. Bit of a different look here for the Cardinals on the hill. The 2-2, that one missing downstairs and in. The Mayville State University alum looking for some relief here. The 3-2, that one right on over to Brown, and it gets underneath him. He Bucknered it. To left center it goes, and Carson Burns gets aboard.
Your left fielder, number 50, Ashton Patterson.
So it'll be an error charged to Brown, and rightfully so there. A rare gaffe by the shortstop. Or maybe not as rare, as that one goes over to Tommy Reyes-Cruz. They'll turn the double play. As they erase the error, it was the 6th error on the season for Brown, but no less. As the Hamilton Cardinals face the minimum in the 6th. We head to the 7th here at Hastings Stadium with the Guelph Royals up 4-0. Stay with us. This is Royals TV.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com. Because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Hard line drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The ref won X by Rollins.
Welcome back to Royals TV. Mark Perry here in the broadcast booth here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. It is a Royals 4-0 lead on the Hamilton Cardinals. Sebastian Rodriguez continuing to deal here for the Guelph Royals. Has given up just the 2 hits. Has only walked 1 batter as well. That came in the 6th. Off to face Jaden Brown, Brendan Daly, and Matt Hildebrandt. And that one missing inside. Chopper. Grab there on the hook for Brando LaRue over to first in time. "65 pitches in here for Sebastian Rodriguez, and his laurels kind of speak for itself in this game, as that was a 6-3 ground out. Generating contact, the defense looking very well, particularly in the infield in the last little bit. Here's Brendan Daly. That'll go in for a strike. Daly, one of 2 Hamilton batters to get a hit off of Rodriguez here tonight. Hit a single back in the 2nd. That one missing on the outside edge. In fact, Nick Velacci, the number 9 hitter, got the other single. The only batter to get into scoring position tonight for Hamilton. That one sent high, deep to left center, all the way back, and off the wall it goes. It's a home run. It bounced off the black fence. It stayed in the ballpark, and Brendan Daly has put the Hamilton Cardinals on the board. Daly, his first home run of the season, his first career IBL home run at that. So congratulations to him as it went deep into left center. Williams tracked it down, and the way he was going for the ball, it looked like it stayed in along the fence, but it's that dimension that we have here at Hastings Stadium as there's a strike on Matt Hildebrandt, or rather that's not Matt Hildebrandt. It's like that is a pinch hitter coming in here for the Cardinals. That looks to be Groves. Yes, Justin Groves in for Matt Hildebrandt as he chases on that pitch. And it hit Ward. So Groves, a member of the active roster. His 7th time into a game this season. Just batting 100, hit 1 for 10. Plays out of Humber College. Native of Peterborough. Rodriguez gets set. The 0-2. Howen missing downstairs. Ward unable to block it. No hard, no foul, though, with nobody on base. Needed 17 pitches to get out of the last inning, so a little bit of a lengthier inning from Rodriguez. And as mentioned, I did see a little bit of movement in the Royals' pen, so have to see when Dino makes the move. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Just the 4th strikeout of the game for Rodriguez.
Number 34, Russell Young.
And that'll bring up Russell Young. So the way the dimensions work here at Hastings Stadium, they actually have another fence that's, kind of on top of the fence out in center field. If it hits that fence and still comes into play, it's still considered a home run. It's the yellow line, as that one's right on over to Takamatsu. The line out puts us to the 7th inning stretch here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. So again, that yellow line is the home run line. If it goes anywhere above that, doesn't matter if it hits something and stays in play, it's considered a home run, and Brendan Daly was the benefactor of a homer. His first career IBL home run, the only run on the board for the Hamilton Cardinals this evening. And it looks like there's a new pitcher coming into the ball game here for the Cardinals, who have some work to do. They're only down by 3. As Howard is going to come into the game now here for the Hamilton Cardinals. Yes, indeed. That is going to be Casey Howard. That comes in. The Brantford, Ontario native. And he'll try to subside the Guelph Royals attack in the bottom half of the 7th. Glad to have you with us here on Royals TV. We'll be back on the air on Tuesday nights when the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers come to town. Howard just into his 4th appearance of the season. That ERA ballooned to 27. That, of course, was thanks to that outing in Welland. When you take that Welland game out of the equation, it's relatively respectable. His last outing was on the 22nd of June against Toronto. Came in an 8-1 loss. Went 2 innings in that one. Gave up 2 runs on 3 hits. Faced 12 batters. Walked 3. Struck out 1. And that game in Welland just didn't have his stuff on June 11th. Gave up 7 runs on 7 hits and didn't go the full inning. So we'll see what he can do here against the Guelph Royals. Howard was also in that game on June 1st. He went 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run in that one, as that one misses upstairs for ball 1. Walked 3 batters in that one. And he's going to he's facing the top of the order here with Brando LaRue. He was hit by a pitch and later came around to score in the 5th. Chopper. Brown can't get the glove on it. It goes into left field. And a base hit for Brando LaRue. He's got a pair of hits in this ball game. That's going to up the average. It was at 156 coming into tonight. It's now up to a 170 as he's now 2 for 3. Trying to drop the bunt there was Blake Simpson, but it comes well inside for ball 1. Simpson 1 for 3, and that one's going to get way past the backstop and going into second easily as Brando LaRue on a clear wild pitch from Howard. First wild pitch of the ball game that we've seen burn either side. Looked like for a moment that might have clipped Simpson, but he stays in the box. Singled back in the 5th. And that one's going to hit Simpson right on the back, and he'll take the base as it gets away from Howard. Two straight pitches getting away from Howard. One a wild pitch, the other one clunking the batter. And with nobody out, first 2 Royals reach. And Matthew Ward would like to make the Cardinals pay for those mistakes with something big. He's gotten a couple of hard contacts, but both times it goes into right field and catches were made. Does the same thing this time. It's down the line, but it's going to drop foul by about 3 feet. Yeah, 2 flyouts to right field. Walked and scored back in the 1st. And again, one of the better hitters in the IBL. And on this team, hitting .328 on the season. Tried to drop that one, and Ward is going to have to go back into the batter's box here. As there was some oohs and ahs from the crowd here at Hastings Stadium, who continue to bear witness at perhaps some control issues from the Cardinals reliever. Again, a win here for Guelph would tie them with Hamilton for 6th in the IBL standings. And here comes Young to have a word with Howard. No balls, 2 strikes, and Matthew Ward having a conversation with the trainer. And it looks like there's going to be a new player coming in. Yes, indeed. Mark Nellis is going to take over for Matthew Ward mid-at-bat. And you saw the frustration. I can see the frustration from here for Matthew Ward as he's getting checked on by the trainer. Nellis looking like he's getting warmed up. Now he's going back into the dugout in a conversation between the home plate umpire and Dina Ramel. I think that's going to do it for the catcher for the Guelph Royals. As now we have to sit and wait, and Ward visibly frustrated as he gets tended to, and it's more of his right arm that's being checked on right now. And having to finish the at-bat here. Is the Guelph Royals. As Haas Fenwick will come into the game here for Matthew Ward. To try to finish off the at-bat. Runners on first and second. The delivery, and he missed on that one, and it's going to go all the way to the backstop. Runners advance to second and third. That might be more of a pass ball from Young.
Your first baseman, number 4, Garrett Takamatsu.
As it did go down as a strikeout. And there looks like they were pointing over at first base. Yeah, they are going to intentionally walk Garrett Takamatsu. So the bases are now loaded for Ethan Hammond, who steps into a big moment here. And I mean, that's probably a good idea if you're the Hamilton Cardinals. Garrett swinging a hot bat, pair of singles. And that one's going to go across for a strike. Hammond 1 for 2. 1 for 3, rather. That one missing downstairs. So LaRue on third, Simpson on second, Tack on first. The outside infielders working into the grass. That one right on the outside edge for a strike. Hammond already with a pair of RBI in this one. The 1-2. Chopper over to Brown, and he can't handle it. He gets it over to third, and he's safe. A run comes in to score, make it 5-1. So Simpson safe at third. Tack advances to second, and Ethan Hammond gets on the fielder's choice.
Your center fielder.
Although Hammond went down the line so quickly, even if he did throw down that way, I don't think he was getting him anyway. So here comes J.D. Williams now with the bases loaded. That one missing outside. J.D. with a single back in the fourth. Later came around to score. It's 1 for 3 on the night. That one missing inside. J.D. batting just .222 in his last 10 games. puts that one into the batting cages in behind Hastings Stadium. Has the lone grand slam for the Royals this season. The 2-1. Right on the outside edge for a strike. Again, just one away here in the 7th. The Royals batting .273 with the bases loaded this year. The 2-2, that one sent high into right field. Kakedos will get underneath it, and he can't make the grab. 1 run comes in to score. 2 runs come in, and JD gets over to second base. A big-time swing from JD Williams cashes in another 2 runs, and it's 7-1 Guelph. It's going to be counted as a double for JD Williams, so he's got a single and a double on the night. As Kakedos just could not get the baseball. And Mark Nellis will come in here for Aiden Shell. A big inning here for the Royals. 3 have been cashed in already. Nellis right on over to Howard. Throw over to first in time as he looks over at Ethan Hammond and says, no. Try me. Try to go home. Some youngsters here with some Carson chance here with Carson Burns coming in. That one goes in on the bottom corner for a strike. Carson reached on an error back in the 6th. Also hit a single in the 4th. That was an RBI single. That one missing outside. Be interesting to see what the defensive alignment looks like now for Guelph. That one misses inside. Still a bit to go before we get to that with the Royals cooking here in the bottom of the 7th. And if you're just joining us, Matthew Ward taking a pitch on the hands, had to leave the ball game. The 2-1. Right on over, it hops on Rempel. And getting over safely is Burns. Coming in to score is Hammond. Another run for the Royals here in the 7th. It's 8-1. The offense is running wild here for the Guelph Royals, and I think this might be it for Casey Howard. Ashton Patterson is the batter getting ready, and it looks like this is just a conversation as the entire infield and the catcher in to join on this group chat. Howard came in at the beginning of this inning. and has been torched in this inning, has given up 4 runs on 4 hits in 2/3 of an inning. And now Ashton Patterson looking to burn him. It's off the end of the bat, in behind home plate. So Burns officially given a single on the play. That's at first base. Though you could say that Rempel may have mishandled it. You might give him the error. That'll go in for a strike. Patterson is 0 for 3 on the Knights. That average has dipped to 123 on the season. The 0-2 sent high into center field. Dominguez gets underneath it. He'll make the catch. As the Royals send 9 to the plates. Here in the 7th, they cash in 4 runs, and they have blown this game open. It is an 8-1 game as we head to the 8th here at Hastings Stadium. You're watching Royals TV.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Hard line drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Welcome back to Royals TV. We're heading to the 8th. And it's Nelson Mercado taking over after a great performance from Sebastian Rodriguez. Just 3 hits, 1 run given up on 7 innings of work. Faced 25 batters, 4 strikeouts, just walked the 1 batter as well. That 1 run was a solo shot from Brendan Daly in the 7th. That's the only run on the board for the Hamilton Cardinals this evening. The 0-1. That one just misses outside. Well, with the injury to Ward, Haas Fenwick will sub in as the catcher. A 1-1. Fenwick blocks, but it gets just between the 5 hole. So again, Mercado with a great big cushion, with the Royals scoring 4 in the 7th. Mercado into his 9th game of the year. Here he's facing Tommy Reyes-Cruz. The 3-1. Reyes-Cruz sends one high. Hammond camping underneath it, out in right center, and he'll make the catch. Last time up for Mercado was in Chatham-Kent on the 29th of June. It was in that 7-2 loss. Gave up 3 runs on 2 hits in 2 1/3. Didn't get a strikeout. Walked 3, faced 13. That one missing inside on Valachi. The 1-0, missing again outside. Mercado with a 7.02 ERA. Has a 1-1 record. His lone win came on the 27th of June in Toronto. 2 innings of shutout baseball, gave up just the 1 hit in that one. Valachi watches that one go across for a strike. Just his 3rd plate appearance of the game. He is 1 for 2. The 2-1 missing inside, 3-1. Valachi's lone hit was in the 3rd. A 3-1 swing and a miss. Full count. And an opportunity here for Mercado. The 3-2 missing inside, and Valachi will take the base. A lively crowd here at Hastings Stadium. You gotta love it. Everybody's still full of energy here on a Saturday night. We are under the lights here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Tomorrow it will be a trip to Barrie, as the Royals will visit the Baycats, and then back here on Tuesday night with Seth Strong and the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers in town. Tanner Rempel now the batter. Holds off on the pitch, but it crosses the plate anyway for strike 1. And by the way, don't forget to get your All-Star votes in. You can head to theibl.ca/vote. Cast your ballot there. You have until Monday night at 11:59 to put your ballots in. Hamilton will host London tomorrow. That one will hit the inside of the dish for strike 2. And then they'll go into Kitchener on Thursday nights. Rempel 0 for 2. The 1-2 is skied high. A mile high it goes. Randall LaRue camping underneath it, and he'll come over to make the catch just on the edge of the infield.
The right fielder, number 10, Nico Kakados.
And here comes Nico Kakados, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Veteran of the OUA. Was the OUA's most valuable hitter in 2021. Played 3 seasons with the Toronto Varsity Blues. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Fenwick, it looked like it handcuffed him there, trying to take in that pitch from Nelson Mercado. The 0-2 missing upstairs. Fans getting a bit restless here at Hastings Stadium. The 1-2. That one's right through the gap and into left field. A base hit for Kakatos, and it goes in behind Patterson. Not by much, though, as he's able to throw it back into the infield. And runners will stay at first and second. Now's the moment here for the Hamilton Cardinals. If they want to get something going. 2 runners aboard with 2 away. This is their moment here with the big guns up here as Carlos Dominguez takes one inside. The offense has been relatively silent here from the Cardinals. They got to get it going. There's a swing and a miss. While they have scored the least amount of runs in the IBL this season, they've also given up the 4th most. That one's set high. It's going to go into foul territory. Patterson going on the run, and he's going to go into foul territory and out of bounds. He was out of my view. I don't know if he actually made the catch out there. Even if he did, he was already well out of bounds and into the crowd. So we will continue on. And my apologies, the 4th least amount of runs have been given up by the Hamilton Cardinals. 120. Barry's given up 102. London's now given up 120 as well. That one goes in front of Fenwick. Welland, meantime, have given up just 81 runs through 22 games this year. The offense has slowed down a bit over the last week or so. The defense still holds strong. 2-2 to Dominguez, and it's into the dirt. So a full count with 2 away. Runners will be off on the pitch. That one sent high into right center field. Hammond tracking it down into shallow right. He makes the catch. And Dominguez slams the helmet down as there's a missed opportunity for the Hamilton Cardinals, who trail 8-1 as we head to the home half of the 8th inning here at Hastings Stadium. And that right there. Again, when you get guys into scoring position, they're finally starting to get something cooking. But Nelson Mercado shut it down. The Cardinals, just 4 hits on the game. They've also committed 2 errors. You might see 1 or 2 more added on to the ledger once the score sheet is reviewed, particularly in that 7th. And it looks like we're going to get a new pitcher into the ball game here for Hamilton. I'll have to see who it is here. As that is Workington that will come into the ball game. Logan Workington. As he will take over for Casey Howard.
Now pitching for Hamilton, number 26, Logan Workington.
So 4th pitcher in for the Hamilton Cardinals here tonight. Workington into his 7th appearance of the season. Last time out went an inning against the Barrie Bay Cats on the 29th of June. Didn't give up a run, just the one hit, faced 4 batters in that one. The offense hitting just 208 on him on the season. From Domain, Manitoba. And it's a different look with the lefty coming on here. And Brando LaRue will lead things off here as the Guelph Royals bat around the order in the 7th inning. LaRue hitting .429 against lefties this season as he fouls that one back. That one was in on the hands. Hasn't really faced lefties all that much this year. That .429 average is through 4 games and overall 3 for 7. That one's popped up. Young tracking it down, and he makes the catch right on the edge of the glove. What a grab by Russell Young for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Blake Simpson, who additionally, also for him, batting average not too shabby. He's 2 for 6 against lefties this year. He'll take for ball 1. Simpson 1 for 3 with a run tonight. Struck out swinging back in the first. That one sent into deep left field. Getting over and diving. Can't make the grab. Daly. That one goes all the way to the fence. And a Blake Simpson double, I would imagine. And a 1-out hit for Blake Simpson, and there's a runner in scoring position. A great diving play by Daly. If he makes that grab, that is a highlight reel play. So Simpson is on officially with the double. And here's Haas Fenwick. Now you're probably wondering, why are you calling him Haas, Mark? His name is Anderson. Well, Haas is actually his nickname, and he prefers to go by it, from what we were told. So Anderson Fenwick is now Haas Fenwick, and it's a great nickname, let me tell you. Haas facing a 1-1 count. He'll foul that one back. And I'm sure we'll get the condition of Matthew Ward in the days to come. Again, couple of games in the next 3 days for the Guelph Royals. Fenwick taking over mid-at-bat in the 7th. As the runner's going to advance over to third. As that ball handcuffed Young. So again, Fenwick taking over for Ward. And again, I don't think it was the baseball necessarily that got him. I think it might have been a foul ball, if anything, on Ward. But either way, looks like it did some damage, particularly to that right wrist area, as he was checked on. And Fenwick came in mid-at-bat, ended up retired on the strikeout. The 3-2 downstairs, and Fenwick will get on with the free base. And that'll bring up Garrett Takamatsu, who was intentionally walked in the 7th, but he still came around to score a big inning for the Guelph Royals in that 7th inning, scoring 4 runs. It was an inning that they needed in what has otherwise been a very tight battle between these two teams, although it was just the chipping away of the Guelph Royals that made the difference on offense, and then on defense, Sebastian Rodriguez pitching a gem. The delivery downstairs. Talk 2 for 3. Workington, the 2-0 downstairs. Good block by Young. Garrett on the season hitting .323. That average has gone up to .338 because of the performance here tonight. Would like a couple of ticks more with a big hit here. The 3-0 fouls that one off. As Hammond on deck here. If the inning stays alive, of course, there is a double play opportunity here. The 3-1 upstairs, 4 balls means that's a walk for number 4 to load the bases here for Ethan Hammond. He will bat with the bases juiced for the 2nd straight inning. 2 straight walks from Workington. Hammond reached on a fielder's choice in the 7th. Takes one well upstairs. Seems like the right field line has cleared out a little bit more. The fans see the score line and think that the Royals might have this one in hand. Young and Workington having a conversation now. Again, as mentioned, just the 2nd meeting between these two teams. Now, a lot of meetings coming up in late July, 3 meetings in August, including a home and home on August 1st and 2nd, the long weekend. That one's inside for a 2-0 count. Yeah, in Hamilton on Friday, August 1st, in to Guelph on Saturday night, August 2nd. Busy weekend for Hamilton that weekend. They'll be in Brantford on the Sunday. There's a swing and a miss. And then the 3rd to last game of the season for the Cardinals will be at home to the Royals before finishing it off with 2 games on the road against Barrie and Brantford. The 3-3 weekend, actually, for them to finish off the year. The 2-1 in for a strike. A little bit one of those longer at-bats despite the lack of pitch count. That one missing outside. By the way, for those Royal fans that are wondering about those games coming up, again, that busy home and home against Hamilton on August 1st and 2nd. You know, not as busy of a schedule to finish off the season. That one's inside for ball 4, a bases loaded walk to make it 9-1. 3 straight walks issued by Logan Workington And Blake Simpson will come in to score. Here comes J.D. Williams. So Fenwick's on third, Takamatsu's on second, and now Hammond is on first. J.D. Williams will step in here. He hit a double back in the 7th inning. Puts that one into right center. Dominguez chasing underneath it. He's going to make the grab. Consider it a sac fly as Fenwick comes in to score to make it 10-1. As the other two runners stay put, Tax stays on second, Hammond stays on first. And here comes Mark Nellis. Came in to pinch hit for Aiden Shell in the 7th inning. Fouls that one off. I think a fan may have made a phenomenal catch. It hit the pole, actually. There was a light that was knocked out. It was a glass light that was knocked out in the last game. There's a swing and a miss. Worked out to be about a 10-minute delay to clean that up. Made a whole lot of mess right next to the visiting dugout. So it's an 0-2 count here on Nellis. That one into the dirt. Yeah, Guelph finishing off their season. It'll be a game against Hamilton on the 15th of August. That's actually their second to last game of the year. And then they'll host Kitchener on the 16th of August. Of course, factor in some rain delays and makeup games. You might get 1 or 2 games added on in the midst of those weekends. Maybe a Sunday game. Maybe a game that goes into that next week. We'll see. The 2-2. There's strike 3, and that freezes Nellis to end the inning. But another 2 runs coming to score. The Guelph Royals have a 10 spot on the board. It is 10-1 over the Hamilton Cardinals as we head to the 9th here at Hastings Stadium on a Saturday night.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Hard line drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Welcome back to Royals TV. We're live in the 9th inning here in Guelph. Mark Perry here with you as Gaku Ueda will come in for the Guelph Royals. Pitched in last night's game in London. It's his 14th appearance of the season. Owen missing well downstairs. Jaden Brown, Brendan Daly, and Justin Groves due up here for the Cards. Ueda went that 9th inning, or rather the 8th inning, for the Royals. Takes one inside. Took over for Jacob Cush in that ball game. Went perfect in the 8th in what was a very low-scoring affair. There's strike number 1. Ueda with a 4.41 ERA. Has 2 saves on the season. Not a save opportunity here, though. That one's fouled way back as it hits the backstop. Made a couple of the people in the front row jump for a moment there. It's 18 1/3 innings pitched this season. Here's the 2-2. Missing downstairs, just under the knees. Full count here on Brown, who is 0 for 3. Pair of groundouts and a strikeout. Little Livery, that one upstairs, and Brown will get on base for the first time tonight. Third pitcher of the ball game here for the Guelph Royals, Sebastian Rodriguez, going 7 strong innings, giving up just 3 hits and 1 run. It was a home run from this man, Brendan Daly. Mercado gave up the 1 hit in the 8th, but otherwise was unscathed. Also walked the batter. That one goes right across Broadway for a strike. Again, both of these two teams coming into this game on losing skids. And that one's well inside on Brendan Daly. Daly with 2 hits on the game, including that home run. Ueda the 1-1. That one missing outside. Daly, as mentioned before, from Milton. Played for the Fieldhouse Pirates in Burlington. Also with Patrick Henry Community College in Virginia. He'll just take a moment here. The 2-1, chopper. And that'll go out of play. Just to the other side of the Royals dugout. Ueda gets set. Fenwick, the catcher, took over for Matthew Ward earlier on tonight. That one, strike 3. He freezes Daly. And there's one away here in the 9th. So here comes Justin Groves, who swung and missed for strike number 3 in the 7th. That one upstairs for ball 1. As mentioned, played for Humber College in the OCAA. Developed a pretty good power bat. Well, a consistent performer at the OCAA level. The 1-0 way inside. Groves gets out of the way, just barely though. Also spent a year at Erie Community College. The 2-0, right on the edge for a strike. Again, you look at this ball game. It's that 7th inning that was a big difference in this one. The Royals finding some of that offense that they could have used last night, losing 2-1 to London. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Groves. Royals looking to end this 4-game slide. The 2-2 upstairs. A couple of losses on the road this week. Ueda, the 3-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. And the Cardinals are down to their final at-bat. Or their final hope, I should say. And it's Russell Young. And again, you look back at this past week, losing in London 2-1, a blowout loss to Barrie 12-2 on Thursday. Lost on Canada Day to Kitchener 7-4. Lost in Chatham-Kent 7-2 on the 29th. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Before that, the Royals were riding high with 5 wins in a row. Well, that's the kind of season it has been for the Royals. Get on a hot streak, get on a cold streak. Get on a hot streak, get on a cold streak. That one's sent out of play. When they win one, a couple more tend to follow. Looking for some consistency. Down to the final strike. The fans in full throat. The 0-2 is going to be put out of play and nearly hits the speaker. I think it's hanging on. Looks like it's all right. Fans get loud again, stomping their feet. The 0-2 upstairs. Good patience there from Russell Young. He's 0 for 3 on the night. Pair of a ground out, a fly out, and a line out. The 1-2 missing outside again. Ueda was looking for that outside edge, but missed it by about half an inch. You can hear the crowd. Gaku looking to try again. The 2-2, that one is going to get into left center. Russell Young with a base hit. Throw into third base, and Jaden Brown will get in there standing up. And we will continue on here at Hastings Stadium. And it'll be Tommy Reyes-Cruz.
Second baseman, number 25.
Looking to do some damage for the Hamilton Cardinals. They're down by 9. And if anything, even without a victory here, this is just Hamilton trying to build up some momentum ahead of their game tomorrow against London. That one sent a mile high, but it's going to go well foul. Had the distance, but it's going to land on Kathleen Street. And I think a youngster caught the baseball. You can hear him from here. Go cash that one in for a freezy, young man. Although at 10:23 Eastern, I wonder if you're allowed freezies at this point in time. I think the concessions might be closed off. Maybe save it for the next game. The 0-1 to Tommy. That one upstairs, 1-1. Try again, runners on the corners. That's going to go across for a strike. And again, Ueda's a strike away. And the fans get loud again. The payoff. Missing outside, 2-2. I'll try again. The nod from Ueda. Here it comes. Missing upstairs. 3-2. May have gotten away from Ueda on that one as it goes high into the outside rather. Brown on third, Young on first. Ueda delivers. Put up high. This is playable. Carson Burns going underneath it, and he can't make the grab. It's in foul territory, though, and Reyes Cruz will stay alive. A lengthy at-bat here. 7th pitch of the at-bat incoming. Fans trying to give Ueda some energy here. The delivery is going to miss on the outside, and the bases are loaded. Still, the Hamilton Cardinals hang in there, and here comes Dino Ramel. Is this just a visit, or is he thinking about bringing someone in? I don't see any movement out there in the bullpen. This is just a conversation to Ueda. So after 2 straight strikeouts with a runner on, a long single from Russell Young, and now a walk to Tommy Reyes Cruz. And it'll be Nicholas Velacci to come up here for the Hamilton Cardinals.
Third baseman, number 18, Nicholas Velacci.
He is 1 for 2 with a walk. See if that pep talk helped out Ueda in any way. That one missing outside. Malachi's walk came back in the 8th. Hit a single back in the 3rd. Struck out in the 6th. The 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And yet again for the 3rd straight batter. A 2-strike count here for Gaku Ueda with an opportunity to wrap this game up. The 1-2 missing inside. The fans are starting to get on Ueda a little bit here. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. And that's the ball game. As Gaku Ueda comes in the 9th and gets the victory for the Guelph Royals, although it is going to be Sebastian Rodriguez who will go down in the record book with the W here on this occasion, as he was excellent through 7 innings of work. Just the 1 run given up on the home run from Brendan Daly. That's the only run on the ledger for the Hamilton Cardinals here tonight. Rodriguez, again, just 3 hits given up. Was phenomenal in this one. Mercado, just the 1 hit given up in an inning of work in the 8th. Ueda doing the job here in the 9th, although he did load the bases. But gets 3 strikeouts, and the Guelph Royals win this one by a score of 10-1. They get a couple of runs on the board. You rewind the tape all the way back to the 1st inning. It was a 2-run single from Ethan Hammond. And for the most part, it felt like this was going to be a low-scoring game. It stayed 2-0 all the way until the bottom of the 4th. The Royals would add a run in the 4th and the 5th to make it 5-0. Still, it felt like there was a little bit of uneasiness. It still felt like there was, still a chance here for the Hamilton Cardinals if they can find their bats. But Sebastian Rodriguez was a big story in this one and said, no, I got this. And pitched a gem in this one and shut down the Hamilton offense. And then the Royals had a big 7th inning, getting 4 runs on the board. They get 2 more in the 8th, and they end up coming out the victors and snap a 4-game losing skid and improve to 10-13 on the year. The Hamilton Cardinals fall to 9-12 on the season. Those 2 teams are now tied in the IBL standings in terms of games back of the Welland Jackfish, who lead the league. The Guelph Royals, again, on the road tomorrow night at 7 o'clock against the Barrie Bay Cats. But again, you look at the offense production from the Royals. 2 hits each from LaRue, Simpson, Takamatsu, Hammond, Williams, and Burns. 4 RBIs for Ethan Hammond on the night. 3 RBIs for J.D. Williams. Just a great performance from the Guelph Royals. Again, they'll be on the road tomorrow in Barrie. We'll be back here on Tuesday with the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers in town. That first pitch will be set for 7:30. The Hamilton Cardinals, meantime, they will be at home tomorrow against the London Majors. That is a 2:05 first pitch from Bernie Arbor Stadium. Well, that's going to do it here on Royals TV. My name is Mark Perry, saying so long here from Guelph. We'll see you next time here on Royals TV.